going to film and realizing that I have probably what is month-old eyelash glue finally coming loose off of my eyelash and just like now it won't fucking come off of my skin. I love that. Guys, if I don't move from bed today, I think I have a pretty fucking valid reason. That valid reason being that I just downed an entire bag of sour cream and cheddar chips and then chased it with a large vanilla iced coffee from McDonald's that I'm pretty sure they dumped an entire fucking cup of sugar into. I was hungry and there was nothing else. My fucking my stomach, I am sloshing, and it's causing my head to slosh too. Oh. And the thing is, I knew it was gonna happen. You know how, like, have you ever eaten too many potato chips? Just the grease and the salt and then dumped sugary coffee on top of it. A large, cold, sugary, extra sugary iced coffee on top of it. Well, if you haven't, I'm fucking jealous. Oh, that's killing me. It's literally killing me. I need the 2.8 eyelashes that I had. And then also I thought that I had therapy today, and as it turns out, I don't have therapy until the 10th. It's the fucking 8th. Apparently now they text you like 2 or 3 days before your appointment instead of like the day before. What the fuck? But also I'm kind of grateful for it because I'm simply not ready to go to therapy. Let me tell you about my morning though, because it was quite the emotional roller coaster for me. And it was simply because I'm like paranoid, and probably because I consume too much true crime and because I'm terrified of something bad happening to me. It's kind of my fault, you know, a little bit, but also, like, you can't be too careful, right? You can't be too careful. That's what I keep reminding myself. You can't be too careful. Like, how many times have you been watching, like a true crime show, and they're like, things like this don't happen in a small town. So anyways, this morning I woke up really early, and of course, Epps and the kids were still asleep, but I felt this pull to film. But I couldn't film in the bedroom because Epps was asleep, and I didn't want to film downstairs because I thought that it was going to be super long-winded, and I didn't want to wake the kids up. So I waited until about 6:30, which is when the sun is fully out, and the sun is, the sun's shining, the birds chirping, people are fucking driving to work. And I grabbed my caffeine, and I grabbed my YouTube phone, and I got into my Jeep, and I drove to the park. Now, this park is really fucking big. It has a water park, baseball fields, a skate park, boat docks, all kinds of shit in it. So the fucking parking lot is massive. It's fucking huge. So I decide to park, which I have filmed there before. I decide to park and set up my phone and crack open my caffeine, and I start drinking, and I get about 1 minute and 30 some odd seconds into me running my mouth, and I look behind me, and what do I see? A giant white van pulls up behind me. Now, like I said, giant empty parking lot. Me, them, no one else. And when I tell you that they parked behind me, I mean, I'm parked like this, and they are parked like this behind me. Now, just so we're clear, there's nothing in front of me. Like, there's nothing in front of me I could pull out anytime that I want, because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of parking spots. So they didn't block me in, but that's not a parking spot. And the fucking parking lot is huge. Now, the font on the side of this giant white van is a little hard to read. So I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of straining my eyes a little bit, and I just turn my full fucking body around. Fuck it, you're behind me, fuck. And I make out the word security on the side in this really fucking weird font. And underneath of it is a phone number. It's like 888. 888. Like, it's just nothing but fucking 8. And I'm like, great, this is a fucking rent-a-cop here to yell at me for being at the park at 6:30 in the morning. And the thing is, the park is open at 6:30 in the morning. The park is open from the time that the sun comes up until the time that the sun goes down. So you are allowed to be there during those hours. When it's dark out, you're not supposed to be there. But it was daylight out. The sun was shining, the fucking birds were chirping, yada yada. So I'm sitting there with my doors locked, waiting for them to come up and knock on my window or something, do something, say something, so that I could tell them, I'm not doing anything, leave me alone. I have every right to be at a public park. I have every right to be on public property, especially during open hours. Nothing happens. Nothing happens, but they still don't move. So I'm like, all right, they're calling the cops on me, because ultimately that's all that they can and are supposed to do. They don't really have any authority. A lot of them like to act like they do, but they don't. They don't have any more authority than I do to just simply pick up the phone and dial 911. So I start getting agitated, but then I start getting a little bit paranoid. I want to leave. But what if they're calling the cops on me? What if they're taking down my information so that when I pull out of here, a cop can get me? Am I doing anything wrong? No. Do I want to deal with any of that? No. But now I'm afraid to leave. I'm afraid to move. I'm afraid to do anything because I will look suspicious. Having a security van pull in behind me and then just fucking booking it makes me look pretty bad. After a couple of minutes of nothing happening, them not getting out and saying anything, the cops not showing up, I'm like, fuck it, I'm leaving. So I leave, and on my way home, I'm weaving through the streets of my town just in case they're going to follow me, or perhaps they pass my information off to somebody that's not a cop to follow me. I'm waiting to see if any cops are going to pull up behind me and turn on their lights. Nothing happened. I drove around for a little bit because I didn't want to immediately go home. You never fucking know if somebody's scoping you out and gonna come back later. Like I said, shit happens, even in a small town. So I get inside and Epps wakes up and I tell him what happens, and immediately he is upset because I am a woman. It was the early morning hours. I was by myself and I was basically intimidated out of a public park. So I don't know what hit me, but I was like, I'm gonna Google different security places in this area so that I can find out what company was doing this, because it's super fucking unprofessional to intimidate somebody on public property and off public property when they're not doing anything wrong, right? I get on Google, pulled out my fucking laptop for this. Didn't even use my phone. Pulled out my full fucking laptop for this. Can't find any local, not even within 100-mile radius, security companies that provide rental services for vans and whatnot with that logo, with that phone number. Nothing. I start to fucking panic. They were parked behind me. What if this was a fake security van? What if these people were somebody that likes to mess with people? What if this was a predator? What if they parked behind me because they were writing down my plate number and just my stickers and stuff on my Jeep? What if they're planning to come back and kidnap me? Yada yada, true crime shit. I debate on whether or not I should call the non-emergency number and tell them what happened, give them a description of the van, make them aware. But fully and completely am aware and am afraid that I am making something out of nothing. Yada yada. About 2 hours later, my sister tells me that this van is a hospital van. The park that I was at is beside the hospital. It was right before 7 a.m. She tells me that is the patient transport van for the hospital, and they were most likely parked there waiting for their shift to start. And she would know this because she worked with them for years. It's rough because I'm stupid. It's rough because you can't be too safe, but also you can't be too paranoid. But also shit happens. But don't be too paranoid. But be safe. But shit happens. It's not likely to happen, but it could happen. But I'm paranoid. The hours of mental distress I had over that. Paranoia. Just paranoia, thinking these people are writing down my hair color, my eye color, what kind of vehicle I drive, my plate number, the distinctive markings on my Jeep. They were sitting there waiting for their shift to start. How do you cope in life when the line between being paranoid and cautious is so fucking thin? Realistically, could something like that happen? Yeah. Not realistically as well. What do you do? Like, what do you do? I don't know. I almost said that I just woke up, but I didn't just wake up. I just gave up on taking a nap. I have been trying to nap all day. I know that my uterus is going to begin bleeding with the fucking fury of 1,000 suns. Probably tomorrow. I'm very sleepy for it and very grouchy and very hungry. I just want to fucking shovel in a pizza and like any sugar that I could possibly get my fucking hands on. Look at Wenny. Her sleeping on the pillow behind me. But I don't feel good. I have a very bad headache and I mentally am very, very not in it to win it right now. Anytime that I have PMS, I kind of struggle with the whole this feels pointless thing and like wanting to give up and quit and blah, blah, blah. But something that I have learned in therapy through the years is to not make big decisions when I'm not in like the right frame of mind, and me having PMS is me not being in the fucking right frame of mind. So we're not gonna make decisions right now. I have to tell myself that every month. I do. I love content creation, but every time that I have PMS, I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. I am going to have to suck it the fuck up and start using social media again. I have tons of social media profiles that I don't use, and it's because I don't like to interact. Girl, get your fucking shit together. I don't like to interact with weirdos, with pervert. And currently right now, I have my Instagram DMs shut off. But guys, I have to suck it the fuck up and I have to go back to using social media. I never take selfies. I never, like, anytime that I do my makeup, I sit down and I try to take selfies, or I'll get up and I'll try to take selfies. And I just fucking hate how I look. I hate how I look. Like, I literally, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I hate how I look every time that I try to take a fucking profile picture, just like a picture for Instagram. I fucking hate it. Like, I look at every picture and I'm like, you look like shit. So I never post. I never post because I don't like how I look. I feel like I just said the same thing like 8 times in a row. And I feel like me not using social media, me avoiding places like Instagram is hindering my ability to grow as a creator and connect with my audience and shit like that. So even though I have a PMS infested brain right now and I have a headache and my fucking uterus is on fire, I still kind of want to sit down and make myself like a plan of action. I'm trying really hard to not binge right now too. I'm trying really, really hard to not binge right now. It is I know ultimately I will mentally punish myself if I do and will physically feel like shit. So right now, for the last several hours, I've been wrapped up in this mental battle of don't fucking do it. Don't do it. You will regret it. Stupid. So I'm thinking about sitting down to distract myself and creating like a schedule for myself. When I am going to film, maybe giving myself like a schedule for reading comments, using social media, perhaps. There's a lot of people that create content that will sit down and set like a 20-minute timer or a 1-hour timer, and that is the time that they check their social media, that they read their emails, that they look at their messages. I think that it would do me well to do something like that, because there is a major disconnect between me and my audience when I don't do things like that. And I'm sick of being afraid. I'm sick of being afraid. I'm sick of having, you know, a couple of fucking weirdos that don't have boundaries ruin it for everyone. So I think what I'm going to do is sit down and make myself a schedule, and it'll be a good way. I played my Animal Crossing. I'm going to make some bracelets. There's a couple video ideas that I have to make with apps that I think we could get one done today, but I don't know. Maybe we can get it done today, and then if I don't feel well tomorrow, there won't be any pressure for me to film, even though I usually end up filming a little bit every day, whether I have a video scheduled for the next day or not. But I'm just fucking going off. I'm just talking at this point. But I'm trying. I don't feel well mentally or physically today because of PMS, but I'm fucking trying. My uterus is on fire. It's on fire. It feels like somebody is blowing a hot water or something, like boiling water inside of it. So I love being a woman. Epps just went to the store to get some strawberries for me to eat. My fucking pinky nail just fell off. I love that. I'm also having a hot flash, and it doesn't really help that I shut the fucking AC off. But Epps just went to the store to get me some strawberries because I'm craving sugar, and I'm trying to, like I said, not put myself in a position to mentally punish myself. And he also is getting some stuff for us to make a video when he gets home. I'm gonna shower because I feel fucking disgusting, and eat my strawberries, and then we're gonna sit down and we're gonna film a video together. And I feel like he and I have not filmed a video together in a long time. That's because I was mentally going through it for a while there. But I gotta tell you guys, as shitty as I am feeling today, prior to the last couple of weeks, I was feeling like that all the time. So it's like I said yesterday, I will take feeling like this a couple of days out of the month versus all the fucking time, and like not feeling like that being like a special treat. It was like a special treat to me. Not having PMS was like more rare for me than having PMS. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna eat my strawberries, and then Epps and I are gonna film a video. So I will see you guys tomorrow, or we will see you guys tomorrow. Boy.